Hola YouTube, and today I want to review another new set, Lego Aqua Riders set 773 Shark Attack. The set only consists of 2 characters, 3 if you count the shark. The minifigures themselves aren't exactly very special looking. The gear that itself, from what I heard, already existed back in before 2007. That already existed in the 90s and 80s. Well, the faces also themselves aren't exactly that great either. I mean, kinda cool. Surprisingly, they have actual backprint on the front and the back, something that was very rare back in the day. Again, I think most of the characters I had back then was just Spider-Man from 2002 and 2004, as well as some characters from Lego Studio. Interesting about the head though is that I never even noticed that there's some additional bit of what's called Halftone Gradient on the helmet. That's actually pretty cool, because again, I didn't notice that before, so it's like a tiny little detail that I don't think anyone even mentioned. I mean, yeah, probably it's pointless, but at the same time, I don't know. I really like that shading, so pretty impressive. Pretty impressive. One of the main builds of the set is this. I guess it's supposed to be like some kind of great shark. Like those big white sharks, I think it's called. I'm not exactly know much about aquatics, and wow, that not only that's pretty big shark, but also surprisingly pretty well detailed. I mean, there's definitely some data parts such as this being on ratchet joints, not even on hinge joints, like would be back in the day. And there's also not much opposability. There's this weird gap here with the rubber, which I have no idea what it's supposed to be for, because at first I thought it was for some kind of moving the tail, but really all it does is just connect it in a weird way, like not just by brakes, just by technique. I don't know what they're going for. Like, you can move the tail, you can't really do anything with it. So what exactly is the point of this rubber thing? Like, at least here there's this hinge on here that makes moving the head easier. This ratchet joint, which isn't really that bad. Yeah, it's a bit ratchety, yeah, but I don't see much of a problem with head being on this kind of joint instead of being on a ball joint. But I still like the little touch of detail here, so that it's this hinge plate, which still makes me confused what exactly we're going with this. Also, there's so many teeth that you can't really close it. I mean, I guess you can still fit a minifigure, since this place is pretty large. That's definitely pretty gruesome. Oh, you can barely take them out. The tail also is pretty nicely built. We're using this hinge on, like you seen earlier, me playing with it. And well, I mean, that's about it. There's a little bit of there's definitely a little bit of this focus for me, motherfucker. There's a little bit of this halftone detail, which I don't know if you can see it, because I can't go any closer when the camera going full on blur out. That's pretty cool, I guess. There are also these small polybag sized mini builds. One being for the treasure, and the other one being this harpoon gun. I'm gonna start with the harpoon gun first. There's a bit more going on. It's a pretty interesting build. As for example, you could move it up and down. You can steady shoot it, and it's just attached brakes together. It doesn't have any like shooting gimmick like flick missile or even worse stat shooter. But you can grab a minifigure here, which I mean, it's a bit painful to remove it. Like it can definitely cause a bit of arm crack, but that's still pretty cool. Regardless, especially with some being able to move it up and down for a bit more touch of detail. Then the other one is just being part of the Aqua Riders lore, as they only go to the underwater so that they can collect a lot of treasure, and I guess some animals protecting it. I guess that's what's supposed to be about. A bit weird, but okay. Interestingly, this one doesn't use any of the commonly used colors. You know, trans green, trans blue, trans red. This one uses a bit different colors, like trans light blue, trans green, and trans dark pink. I guess those were colors that were used quite a lot back in 2007 because of the Lego Belleville. And that one used so many of those transparent colors. Jesus Christ! Interesting, kind of cool that they use a bit more of a shiny plate. Kind of prefer was chrome, but chrome is very dangerous. And there it is, the main part of the whole set. This weird looking sub thingy. I don't know what's supposed to be. So I guess a mini sub. You can of course fit the minifigure in there, but it's this build is not exactly very very sturdy. Like, yeah, you can fit the minifigure, but then okay, I guess because at first the hinges were pretty stiff, that by moving up and around, up and down, I guess it becomes more loose. Oh my goodness, I'm dumb. Sadly, you can fit more than one minifigure. Believe me, I tried. Anyway, there are also these wings that they're supposed to be more like this, but I personally prefer to have them in this position because, well, number one, this kind of build style for this wing things is a bad idea because they move up and down a lot, and also that way it's actually a little bit better looking. I mean, I don't know. Leave a comment if you want to. I still think it's a bit better because also matches with the other stuff that also a bit angled, like those tanks for something. I don't know what that's supposed to even be for, and these stops at the front, which reveal the main part of this whole vehicle. The sadly now retired missile shooters, which I guess is supposed to be some kind of defense mechanism against the shark. I don't like that it's fit. Like, yeah, it's very visible, but in a good way. Oh. Unlike the larger set, that strap called Crab Crusher, more on that later, and kind of has it hidden, which kind of makes the whole submarine look of that set a bit, I don't know, kind of worse to me. I honestly prefer this one way more. Also interesting, they use a bit of detail of the now retired Technic build right here, which is why I like old, especially 2000s Legos, because something about them using some of those specialized Technic parts gives the set a bit more charm instead of making them simple, but like people usually think. Still don't know what this is supposed to be for. I guess some kind of close combat defense mechanism, like some kind of hedgehog thing when they like have spikes so that the wild animals wouldn't hurt them. Again, that's my only guess, because there's barely anything about the theme other than they collect treasure. It got discontinued the same year, and that's about it. Also cool to point out that those harpoons on the sides that basically are a form of a weapon storage for the Aqua riders to like get a weapon and use them for themselves. That's honestly a pretty cool touch, and gives the build a little bit more detail without looking a bit too edgy. And I still wish there was like some way to make those clips a bit more, sturdy, because they kind of just poke out. You really don't even making them not come out very easily. It's just the edge of the set making some of the pieces very more sturdy. Of course, being the good old fashioned, I'm also gonna review a box. Sadly no manual, because the manual that I bought the set, which was used copy, let's just say it got wrecked. And thankfully, this is the American box. So means that we can have we can read some cool stuff such as Tiger Shark Attack contains 339 pieces. It's a building toy. It's not a food. It's not a dog food. It's a building toy and includes firing action. Wow, that's so amazing. Oh, and also actual size. For some reason, in different languages. I like the old time version of the photo taking. It wasn't like a flat 2D. It was more of a photo of a real minifigure. Oh my god, focus. Of a real minifigure, kind of just standing there. I mean, it definitely looks very dated, but again, I like the touch. On the back though, it's also interesting. There's also the whole fun facts about oh, those are whale sharks. Oh my goodness! Like there are actual fun facts, which is kind of funny with the whole killing sea creatures and then learning fun facts about them. Like, did you know the expected lifespan of a whale shark is over 100 years? Or did you know that bull sharks are known to swim in salt and fresh water? It's so weird. Why would you? What's even the point of it? Like, I would prefer alternate builds and stuff, just learning about sea life while you impale it with a freaking cannon in the face. Like, it's like killing a Jew and then learning fun facts about Jews. What the hell? That's so cursed. Here are also some warnings, of course, if you really even care. Good advertisement for the Rest in Peace Lego Club. Oh my goodness. And of course, advertisements for the good old Rest in Peace Lego Club. Also, I forgot to point out the best part about this entire set. The box starts at those like early 2000s 3D renders. Like, why does it matter? Because they actually look much better than something like, oh, I don't know, the modern ones. Like, there's some charm about it, and I really like it. It doesn't feel like, even though some of them feel a little bit stretched, like this guy's face looks a bit weird, like very tiny. But again, the whole detail looks so cool. All the glossiness and everything. It just makes it so nice to look at, honestly. Like, holy shit, I'm looking at this box art and I'm honestly really happy to look at it. Even on the back, it just has so much charm. It has so much charm, you know, so much charm. I don't know. I kind of wonder how they even did those kind of renders. Because I wanna myself, because I am an artist myself. I really wanna like take this start rendering and then copy from my own mocks. Like, I don't know. I think maybe that's Mecha Breaks, but I don't know. Mecha Breaks definitely looks a little bit more detailed. I mean, look at this tank. It looks a bit weird. It looks a bit. Right now, I'm going. Overall, the set is honestly pretty fun. Like, I have one problem with it. It's way too violent. It kind of sounds dumb for me, but at the same time, this is a sub, and the set implies that you hurt a shark. I'm not exactly a fan of this idea, if you ask me. What shark would even do to you? I mean, do these kind of type of sharks, those white ones, actually eat people? Because I'm pretty sure all the sharks usually eat people when they're hungry, and that's about it. Yeah, also if they're injured. But those people kind of just want to collect treasure. But for some reason, the shark is like, no, like, you have to hurt it. Like, it's honestly a bit too brutal. A bit too brutal. Like, yeah, there's like, I still like the defense mechanisms and stuff like that. They really like that theme to be about hurting sea animals. I don't know, but still, if you ever ask me what sets to get, I'd say get this one more instead of the sub. Like, yeah, the sub has a bit more detail and it's larger, but honestly, it's not really that fun. This one is way more fun, even though you can't really fit too many figures. And this is honestly a pretty solid build. Someone even made an alternate build of it on the internet. I'm gonna leave the link in the description for those alternate builds, because they're pretty fun, even though I would recommend doing some modifications, because those those builds aren't exactly very solid. I gave this build a solid 7 out of 10.